We are diving into a radical, truly transformative paradigm shift in network consensus. Buckle up, because we're about to challenge literally everything you thought you knew about security, trust, and decentralization. We're looking right into a digital battlefield, a high-stakes arena where the fundamental rules of engagement between humans and automation are being completely rewritten. The white paper we're unpacking today introduces a system designed to finally tip the scales back to organic life. It's called the Parallax Protocol. So the crucial point is this. We've got to face the rather bleak reality of our current landscape. Just look at this stark truth. We championed decentralized networks as this incredible way to return power to the people, right? But the status quo, well, it's devolved into a highly mechanized oligarchy. The systems we rely on every day are increasingly dictated not by individual users like you and me, but by massive, humming server farms hidden in remote locations, and these giant silent wallets just accumulating infinite digital weight. The human element has been completely marginalized in the exact systems that were built to empower it. To understand exactly how we got here, let's look at the two reigning titans of network consensus. First up, proof of work. This is an arena of raw, brute force energy. Literally, if you don't have an entire warehouse of specialized computers just burning through megawatts of electricity, you are effectively locked out. And then there's proof of stake. That's an arena of pure capital. The more you hold, the more power you wield, creating this loop where money just effortlessly prints more money, leading to absolute control. Both of these frameworks inherently lock out the average everyday human in favor of either overwhelming physical energy or staggering financial capital. Okay, let's dive into this, because this is where the narrative shifts dramatically. The Parallax Protocol doesn't just, tweak the existing rules, it completely abandons them for a hybrid model. Enter a concept known as behavioral validation. This absolutely redefines what it means to participate in a network. It asks a completely different question. Instead of asking, how much computer power do you have, or how much money do you hold, it asks, are you actually here and are you actually human? The first pillar of this defense system is proof of time. Think of this almost like an intelligence briefing on a completely new form of digital presence. Proof of time, or POT, validates the continuous, active presence of a user, a node, within the network. But here's the really critical distinction. You don't need a supercomputer to prove you're there. No way. Even passive engagement, something as simple and low energy as just syncing your balances, contributes directly to the temporal validation of the ledger. It's your continuous presence, rather than pure, unadulterated computing power, that actually validates and secures the network. Let's move to and see how this builds on top of temporal presence with the graph of trust, or GOT. The source material describes this as a localized reputation matrix. In standard networks, well, you basically buy your reputation, but in Parallax, you have to earn it. Users build cryptographic weight not by hoarding digital assets, but through verifiable, consistent interactions with the network over time. You're building a tangible, cryptographic reputation through your actual behavior. But how exactly does the network verify that this behavior is organic and not just some cleverly disguised script running on a server somewhere? The answer to that question lies entirely within a single critical number: 4. Every 4 hours, a new cycle begins. This mathematically designed 4-hour cadence isn't just some arbitrary schedule, it is the very heartbeat of the Parallax Protocol. This 4-hour window, it's not a random interval drawn out of a hat. Absolutely not. It is a highly deliberate, mathematically engineered mechanism called the behavioral liveness filter. Think of it as a brilliantly designed trap. It's constantly watching the network, filtering out the noise, and running a continuous, silent test to answer one foundational question. Is the entity on the other end of this connection a living, breathing human being? Or is it a machine pretending to be one? Here's exactly how that trap springs shut. With a 4-hour cadence, it's mathematically possible to complete exactly 6 full mining cycles in a 24-hour period. That represents constant, flawless execution. But humans, we are inherently unpredictable. We sleep, we forget, we get distracted by, life. A human being simply cannot remain actively, perfectly engaged 24 hours a day after day, without fail. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the massive plot twist the Parallax Protocol introduces. In almost any other system in the world, perfect execution gets you the highest score, right? Not here. Under this consensus model, constant, uninterrupted execution strongly indicates automation. If an account exhibits robotic perfection, hitting all 6 cycles every single day without fail, it triggers the trap. that account receives a severe penalty to its trust score. The network essentially says, yeah, I see you, you're a bot, and your influence is hereby revoked. Meanwhile, organic users, who perform fewer daily cycles and occasionally miss interactions, they're recognized as human. Let me really hammer home this central paradigm shift, because it is just brilliantly subversive. In this network, being perfect is actually penalized. Organic imperfection is rewarded. It's a complete inversion of the cold, machine-centric logic that governs so much of our modern digital lives. By maintaining long-term consistency, despite your inevitable human flaws and missed cycles, you're rewarded with a significantly higher trust score. Your humanity, your very inability to be a perfect machine, literally becomes your most valuable cryptographic asset. So you might be wondering, how exactly is this score calculated? Could a bot just be programmed to fake human imperfection? Well, the architects of Parallax are a step ahead. The exact calculation of the trust score is currently classified as strictly closed source. By keeping this formula heavily guarded, malicious script creators and botnets are kept entirely in the dark. This effectively prevents them from reverse engineering the system to mimic an organic user's precise trust score trajectory. And this brilliantly illustrates the protocol's delicate balance between deep security and vital transparency. Even though the core algorithm is hidden to prevent reverse engineering by bots, the system isn't just some black box requiring blind trust. During both the testnet and mainnet periods, the trust score calculation utilizes an auditable cryptographic mask. What this means is that while the specific algorithmic weights remain a closely guarded secret to protect the network from automation, the broader community can still mathematically verify that the system is operating fairly and securely, all without exposing its vulnerabilities. As we bring this explainer to a close, I want to leave you with a profound philosophical implication brought forward by this source material. We've spent decades trying to build machines that are as perfect as possible, and algorithms that ruthlessly hunt for flawless efficiency. But the Parallax protocol flips the script entirely. It looks at the cold, calculating perfection of automation not as an asset, but as a direct threat. So I ask you to consider this. In an increasingly automated, hyper-mechanized world, what if the ultimate key to digital security isn't stronger firewalls or faster processors, but rather our own beautifully unpredictable human imperfection?